What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. Today, just want to talk about hitting 500 characters on Mandarin Blueprint. Gonna try to scroll slower. Had a couple of people talk about my erratic scrolling in the last video, so we're gonna try to do better today. But I am past 500 actually, and the reason is because, as you'll see here, level 32 started at 495. And I thought about making a video at the end of level 31 with almost 500 characters, but I thought, nah, I'll just wait. It's not really that big of a deal. And so I ran through this session all the way down. You can see some of the characters here that I've learned all the way down to the bottom. Character 514, gun. And so I'm at 514 characters learned. Now, if you want to see how that breaks down from those characters, you've got 827 characters. 827 words, and these are the words right here. As you can see, there is a whole lot of them. The words in red right here are the words that I learned specifically in Unit 32 or Level 32, starting here with die, and then die lie, which is going to be like to bring something, or you got daizo, which is going to be to take with. You've got bang, which is help, chong chong, which is often, etc. It carries on all the way down through there. And then you've got the characters here, which is 514 of them, as I had just mentioned. And if you scroll down here, as you can see, there are some. Now, this unit's been pretty cool because, again, it really goes into why learning the characters has been such a help for me. Because, for example, these two characters here that I've highlighted, let me make sure you can see those on OBS. Yeah. Those are both pronounced the same way. They're both bang. One means nation, and the other means... the other one means help. And so learning the characters definitely has helped me be able to recognize those word differences. And so if you look at how that breaks down, we've got nouns 324, we've got verbs 227, adjectives 105, and then it just continues to break it down from there, which is pretty cool. I will get into my flashcards as well, but just to break that down, we've got 26 hours and 52 minutes, almost 27 hours of study / immersion. I was tracking immersion kind of heavier in the beginning, but honestly, like right now, my main focus is how much time I'm spending learning the characters. Because that is a very important part. Because what I've noticed for me, and I know that, there's so many people who disagree on language learning, but what I've specifically learned about myself is that when I'm learning these characters, how concrete I'm learning them, spending time reviewing them and stuff like that. And I know that it's weird because you don't see characters when people are speaking, but it's helped me so much. I still listen to stuff, I just don't track it. And what I mean by that is if I'm in my car driving home from Walmart or something like that, and I'm like, all right, cool, let me listen to something. Like, I just put on something and that's it. I don't worry about going into my app and trying to track the time that I'm listening and stuff like that. So I am listening. I just don't specifically track that. And then also within Mandarin Blueprint, let me just click back. If you scroll down to the intermediate phase, when you get into the intermediate phase, you actually get into their section on time to immerse. Now, why did they wait until character 593? It is because once you hit 593 through their system, you know 80% of Chinese by frequency. That means anything that you watch, generally speaking, obviously if you're watching something on like nuclear physics or something of that nature, it might be a little bit tough, but as long as you are watching something, daily life stuff, whatever, you should be able to understand at least 80% of it, and then that's going to make it comprehensible to the point where you can start adding words and things like that. Of course, you'll be adding words through their program. So I spend a lot more time doing that, and then I do immerse things like that. But this is just kind of the way that I've found it to work out for me, being able to differentiate those characters. It's really helped. All right, so from there, we're going to go and talk about traverse. Now, as you can see, I've got some because I've not done them today. And this has kind of worked the same way as it did in the last video, but just to show you here, 50-day streak, and then of course you can see prior to there where I've had little bits of pieces here and there where I will do it. I missed a couple of days here and there, but then that's when it really started. Through Skritter, because I do some of the stuff on Skritter too, just for like little bonus, I don't know, bonus exposure to words and whatnot. I have a 71 or 72-day streak on that. So basically, I've been back at Chinese for roughly just over 2 months, where I've been doing it hardcore. And I've learned over 200 characters in that time. And so honestly, if I average 100 characters a month, I mean, yeah, that's 3 per day, roughly, right? Or I guess almost 4 characters per day, I guess, depending on between 3 and 4. And honestly, I'm fine with that. You know, I know that, like, that's the thing in the language. How many should I learn a day? And, oh, man, I learned 10 a day, or I learned this. But, like, the thing is I'm not just learning characters. Because, like, for example, like, when I learned... well, I'll even give you an example, like, Feng Jing, right? Which means scenery. So when I learned this character on the right-hand side, let me make sure you can see that in OBS, make sure my face isn't covering it up. So when I learned this character on the right, Jing, right? Which means scenery. Well, I didn't just learn that. I learned how to put it with another character I had learned, which is Feng, and to make a word. So yes, unlocking this character also gave me an additional flashcard in learning this word. That kind of thing, right? Or the character Dai, which is to take. Learning that character also unlocked several words, including Dai Zhou, third tone, Zhou, right? Dai Zhou, which is going to be to bring with, or to take with you. Like, I guess if you're leaving or something of that nature, you're taking something with you. Or perhaps you're going somewhere and you're taking something with you. But then also, if you're doing that, you could just say Dai, Lai, right? To bring something. So in learning the character to take, you've also added 2 additional cards because of words that you've unlocked. So that's kind of the way that I look at that. And there's some that unlock a lot more than others. And that is the way that it is, right? Like, for example, Toe, right? Well, when I learned that, I also learned Toe Fa, which is hair. Or Sure Toe, which is like stone. So you learn multiple words and be able to have that together. And then that's also more reinforcement for the character. Sorry, I know that was a lot of ranting, but basically I'm really happy with the 100 characters. I think that that's a perfectly fine and reasonable thing. For me, it's working. Okay, so, but yes, Traverse, the way that I'm keeping up with Traverse, as you can see here, we've got a ton that I need to do. Just like the last time, Phase 4, starting here at level 21, I have maintained all of this. Now, this is really high because this is the current phase I'm on, so I'm adding more words. Like, yesterday I probably added 10 or 11 flashcards towards the end because I had another, like, I finished it off with, I think, learning 5 characters that day. And so learning 5 characters plus the words associated with those characters, it's a lot more, and it'll always be that way. The ones down towards the bottom will always be more because those are the newest ones that you've added. But I will go through and I will do all of these through phase 4, and that will help keep everything like new up to date. And then usually I'll just click on review all flashcards up here, and then I'll do a couple just to kind of start to slowly get this down. Now, you may ask yourself, why is that not a big deal? Why wouldn't you want to do all that? And honestly, we can even go back to what I was talking about over here, right, with the characters. So if I learn the character, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I can literally use the same example, right? Zo, zo, to walk, zo. Um, well, I can also say, okay, so dai, dai, zo, right? Like I've practiced the character for zo while I'm practicing the character dai. And so that's what's happening a lot of times with these words that you're learning is you're bringing a character that you've known for a long time into something like into something new. So and that's honestly part of it. I still like to go through and learn some of those, but at the same time, I mean, if you're learning characters like that, then I don't see what it. I don't know. It really helps. Like Lao, which means old, which I learned a while back, so I can add things to this, right? So when I learn the character for home, right? Jia, right? So okay, oh, that's a new character. What can I add to that? Lao. Oh, yeah, I already know Lao. So Lao Jia, which is it's literally old hometown, right? So you're practicing these older characters that you've learned when you learn these new characters because of the word that you do. So that's why I do that. I know that I kind of just said that same exact thing, but like just to reiterate, that is why that it is. And then, you know, like I said, I carry on. I make sure that all these are done, all these new ones, and keep on moving forward. And that's what's really helped me. So I am still writing. I am still writing a lot, actually. Like I'm going through so many pages of notebook paper, and I know that a lot of people writing may not be their thing, but I in particularly love it. It is such a huge help to me to be able to write. It has helped put stuff in my brain. It has helped me be able to figure out I don't know, like it's weird. I being able to something about the hand writing and then up to the brain, it just makes things click. And the reason I came back to Traverse because I was originally using I've just started using Skritter, and it's because even though I'm doing stuff with my thumb or something, I still didn't feel like I was retaining that information like when I was handwriting. So it just really helps. In my opinion, you know, do what you're comfortable with, but it's really helping. The other thing I want to chat about real quick is the way that I am handling some of these older stuff, because if you'll remember, I had been going through the course and so much of it was undone. I've been going back through phase 1. If you look through, I've completed every single one of these lessons. I've went back and watched all the shorts that they've added and things like that. I'm working through phase 2 right now. As you can see, the bar is getting higher. And then in order to combat that, starting with phase 5, I will have 2 windows open at the same time. I will have the window for the character that I'm learning, right? So right here. And then I will also have, scrolling down, sorry, I know scroll sickness, yada, yada, yada. And then I will also have the specific section for vocab in context. And I will have that, like this right here. Actually, the one that I just talked about, Chung. Dai, not Chung. And so that is what I've been doing, going through and hitting that stuff as it comes through, and that way I'm completing everything as a whole, just as we're going through. Now, I'm not making a big deal about any of the like of the sample sentences and stuff. Yes, I go in and I read them, and I'll look over them, and I may even revisit them a time or two, and I'll listen to them. They have audio on Traverse, and so what I'm doing is I am taking a method from the kind of that MIA playbook of when they would read Take Him for Japanese, right? And it's not that you're going through and studying as much as you're just kind of internalizing the grammatical patterns and things like that. And that's what I'm doing. Because honestly, once I start learning more, like being able to just watch content, I'm slowly going to adjust and get stuff. Yes, I do read some grammar stuff from time to time, but you know, this is what I feel has helped me, not necessarily the most, but being able to just go through and let it wash over, right? The Steve Kaufman thing, just let it wash over me, and being able to do that. And that's helped a lot too. Like it's helped kind of unlock the ability to understand certain things. So The other thing that I've really noticed is writing the characters has made me be able to understand these things. I'm getting into a little bit more complex characters now. And so what I mean is a character like Chung, which has a bunch of meanings. The meaning that Mandarin Blueprint assigned is to become. And so seeing the little box there on the inside of the wall looking thing, I know that it's not confusing, but I used to look at this and say, well, I mean, I don't even see how you can put this together. Like, what are the components that make this character up? And then being able to see that and then go to, for example, Xian, like being able to look at these and see the difference and immediately know what the characters are is crazy. I used to look at these and I would struggle, and I'm like, what is this small difference? And I'm sure even if you don't study Chinese, you can look at these and see the difference. Like, it doesn't take a lot to really be able to tell. However, like, handwriting them really helped me solidify the details. And then, for example, a character like this, being able to see it as part of a word such as yue, being able to see that little section doesn't have anything on the inside of it, on the right hand side of the component, and knowing that it's still this character, it's just the condensed version when it is part of another character, has honestly, it's really helped. I never thought that would be something I would be able to do, and yet here we are, right? Or to see the character Xian used as part of Gan, right? Gan. And being able to just see that and immediately tell all the different parts. The writing has been able to help. Yes, you can train yourself to recognize those. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying what has worked for me. And I've really, really enjoyed it. And then also, even this right here, Chung, which can be pronounced the same way, Chung, but it's meant Chung in city, right? Like this character right here is Chung. And then you can put it with Chung, sure, to make city, right? So being able to see that stuff has really helped. So I know I've rambled a lot here. That's what I do, but I'm really trying to express to you like what learning 500 characters has meant to me, how I've done it, and how I'm going about it, and really how much I think, like, God, dude, writing, dude. I mean, for me anyway, writing has been absolutely crucial. It has been incredible. So yeah, it's been amazing. The other thing I want to chat about real quick is lingq. I've not used it a ton. As you can see, 0 coins. I've not even used it in the last week. I've read 7,500 words this in the last 30 days. I've got to get better at this, but again, I do listen, but when I listen, I'll listen to something from YouTube like Lazy Chinese or something like that, because I do think reading is important, and I do get reading practice every day. I just don't specifically get reading practice through lingq every day, obviously. But I think if I set forth more dedicated time, because what I'll do is a lot of times I'll pull up and I'll just read through, like while I'm watching Lazy Chinese, and I'll just read through that. But I think I need to go back to, like when I made that video of reading after 400 characters, importing it into lingq after I've done it a couple of times and really go through it a couple of times, and then I can just read the transcript and just kind of go from there. And that's obviously going to do nothing but help my calls. So, but yeah, that's it. I really, just wanted to chat a little bit about that. If you have any questions, I covered everything as far as I know. But if you have any questions about anything, please let me know. I'm having a great time learning Chinese. I'm not stopping. I don't know when the next video will be. I'm not going to do it every 50 characters. I mean, I could do it every 100 for a little bit, but 500's a nice even number. So we gotta figure out something else, and I'll get to that point. Maybe just another update somewhere down the road. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, like I said, let me know down below, and I will see you all in the next video.